Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Webex Beta Quick Bites. In today's episode, we're going to look at a new beta feature, being able to move a user from one calling location to another calling location. Let me go ahead and share my screen and walk you through this feature. All right. So I'm logged into a test org with my controller credentials, and this is a user we're going to try and move. There are a couple of options for moving a user from one calling location to another location. Either you can do it from the UI, move an user, and we also have API support, and we'll go through those two options. Today, if you want to move a user from one calling location to another calling location, you will have to unentitle the calling license for that user and then re-entitle after you move the user. What this new feature allows you to do is retain the calling entitlement without having to remove it. In addition to that, the benefits are the user's voicemail messages and some of the other calling settings is also retained when you move the user from one location to another location. There are still a few caveats that you need to be aware. One is you can only move an extension only user. What this means is if you have a DID number assigned to a user, you have to remove the DID number, move the user, and then reassign the DID number. This is a challenge, but you do have bulk CSV option where you can use the operation to remove the DID number in a bulk manner, move the users, and then re-entitle or re-add the DID numbers. Let me go through the UI option here. I'm going to click the user and you can see the current user is in San Jose location, but when I hover over it tells the user cannot be moved because this user has a number assigned. So if I look at the calling tab, I have a DID number. That's the reason it's not allowing me to move the user. So I'm going to unassign the DID number. As I said, you could use a bulk CSV operation to be able to remove the DID numbers and then re-add them post moving the users. Now, if I go back to the user list, I can go ahead and click the move user. It launches the UI to move the users, and I can select I want to move to Chicago. If I want to keep the extension number, I can leave as is, or I can assign a new extension number. So I'm going to leave as is and I'm going to click validate. It's going to check to make sure this user can be moved or if there are any challenges. It comes back validation is successful. So I'm going to acknowledge that and then move the user. Now the user will get moved and it will give back a message saying that I can check the task manager for status and see it's processing. And within maybe few seconds, it should come back and tell me it has been completed successfully. So now if I go back to the user, you can see I was in San Jose, now I have been moved to Chicago. I can also move the user by clicking directly in here and then selecting San Jose. The same option is available here in the menu. So one way is to move through the Control Hub UI. If you're just moving one or two users, you also have the API support and the links are there part of the beta documentation. So I'm going to quickly go through the body and explain here what it is. The first one is location ID. So the location ID is the destination location where you're going to move the users. In my case, if I want to move the users to San Jose, I would select the user's San Jose location. I can either copy it directly here or it's in the browser as well. So if I go back to the user, I am in Chicago and I want to move to San Jose. So if I go here and go to San Jose and I copy the San Jose location ID, and then I change it to the San Jose location here. And then the user ID is the user I'm going to move. So I click on the user. And then for the user ID, the same, it's available in the browser. And you also have APIs to capture this programmatically if needed. But I'm going to use the browser information here. And then I go paste it here. That's the user I'm going to move. And the same dry run option is available. If I want to validate, I would select this as true and then run. So in the information here, if it's informational, then you're good to go. But if you do see an error message here, then you can look at the potential reasons why you're getting an error message and try to address that. In my case, there are no error messages, so I'm going to set this to false, the dry run to false. I'm going to rerun it. So it's completed successfully, and there is a transaction or tracking ID. If this for some reason you need to open a tag case or anything like that, you can use this tracking ID to share with them. If I go back to the control hub and then hit refresh here, all right, you can see I should have been moved to San Jose. Yes. So the information is said it's available in the beta platform. If you're not part of the beta, you can go to gobeta.webex.com and then sign up. And it's part of the management beta. Under management beta, you have calling moving user for Webex calling location. The same information is here, and the link to the API documentation and the PDF version of the help article is also there. There are a few other caveats listed here, but you can move a user with this feature without having to remove the calling entitlement. In addition to that, some of the settings like voicemail and messages and calling settings are retained. Obviously, if you have the DID number, you do need to have the bulk CSV operation to remove and re-add, but that's something can be accomplished through the bulk CSV. We also have a script that we can share through the beta portal. We can use it to move bulk users in a bulk manner, because today this API does one user at a time, but you can script it so that the script goes and checks if the first user job moves job is completed, then it'll go on to the next one. So we have a script that we will share, and you can give it a try. So the feedback or the feature is available in a beta platform. Do take a look and provide us any feedback or questions through our beta portal. Hopefully this has been useful, and thank you.